It's always amazing to be under this beautiful weather of Plateau State, Nigeria. You already know I am the son of a soul, a proud rural boy at that. My name is Victor Dangs, and right now I am live in the front of the Gwom's palace, ready to see His Majesty, Dad Jacob Gyang Buba, the Gwom Joss himself, in relating to the forthcoming Nzembirom and how he has been and the king throughout these years. So if you're with me and you want to have some fun, let's go.
It's a pleasure to have His Majesty in the house. The man whose royalty and love has been an inspiration to a lot of people. And can also that His Majesty, Jacob Gyang Buba. Sir, I just want to ask you a couple of questions for your reign as king and for the forthcoming Nzembirom. One of the questions is, what actually inspired you to take the mantle of leadership for Birom tribe?
There is no tribe or community in Nigeria that doesn't have leaders, no?
Yes, sir.
And we've had leaders ever since. And leaders come and go. And when the last one, Victor Pam, died, the kingmaker decided on me. And that is that.
Okay.
I have to accept because we cannot keep the stool vacant.
Okay. So what has been the biggest achievement or milestone during your reign, sir?
It's not usual for me to blow my trumpet.
Yes, sir.
But because we thank God that the Gbwon as a nation have remained intact, we are doing our best in the context of our cultures and traditions to change, to ensure we sustain and hand over to our children and raising them. Because if people without culture and tradition are not a people. We in the selection of Gwom, we respect our native laws and customs.
So, sir, how do you balance tradition and modernity? The things that happens now in our modern tribe. How do you balance it in your leadership style?
Well, culture itself is dynamic. And I don't see any clash between culture and modernism. When we talk about culture, people tend to just look at where we are coming from. There's nobody on this earth who has not developed from where they come from. And we must also develop. There are some aspects of culture that we will drop because they also clash with the religions that we practice. But we must sustain the culture because they are our identity. And we must continue to provide an identity distinct from any other person. Every tribe will want to continue to sustain its identity. And there's no clash in doing that, and we will continue to respect one another. God did not make a mistake for bringing us here. He did not make a mistake in fashioning our language and the cultures that we inherited from our forefathers.
So, His Majesty, in what way have you seen the community change since you emerged the throne?
You are standing before me, and even as I'm attired, it's different from what our great-grandparents used to do.
Exactly, yes, sir.
That's not a huge change.
It looks very...
That's very true.
Amazing.
The facility we are in here today, we never had them in those days.
Exactly.
And that's why I say we are responding to the dynamics of
change
and modernization without losing track of our culture and tradition. Yes.
Okay. So what advice would you give the younger generation who want to get achieved like an acquaintance with a leadership or a traditional cultural way like this?
Well, I even thought you would be interviewing me in Durham language, and you are interviewing me in English.
Yes, because I just want the whole world to understand it.
Yeah, you can go and interpret to the whole world. We must stand firm on our language.
Okay.
That's our identity. And like I said, we must not lose sight of modernity also. The two can go together.
Okay.
And we must endeavor to make sure they go together. We belong to the world community, we belong to the communities in Nigeria, but we have our distinct cultures and traditions.
Okay, so this segment
we don't shy away from displaying.
Okay. So this segment is for the forthcoming cultural festival. What is the historical or cultural significance of the festival to our community?
The Gwom didn't just wake up one day and invented these cultural festivals. We inherit them from our forefathers.
Okay.
And we're just sustaining them even within the context of modernization. And so we are not claiming we invented anything. If we invented anything, that wouldn't be cultural. That wouldn't be traditional. And so we inherited them and we are sustaining them because we see value in them. The Nzemdemerum that we are celebrating annually is an aggregate of all the festivals that the Biroms in their villages, districts, and so on do celebrate. But we are celebrating these annually as a form of our togetherness as a Birom people, and the culture and traditions are very similar with one another. And so it's a thing of pride for us to showcase our culture and our tradition.
So how does the festival evolve over years under your leadership?
I have said it, my leadership has not invented a culture or a tradition. We are celebrating what we inherited. And so it has been there from time immemorial, and we will do a disservice to the Birom people if we don't continue, because that will mean losing our identity.
Okay. So, sir, what role do you see the festival playing, uniting or educating the younger generation?
But that's the main purpose, that we hold the festival: unity, educating, reminding our children where we all came from and what has happened over the years. It's historical, and the history should be a thing of joy and pride for every Birom child. Accordingly.
So, sir, are there any new features for this coming festival we should look forward to?
The big thing about this festival is that we have decided to celebrate our women.
Oh.
And this is one thing that for long we have not done. And it's high time we give them the recognition and celebrate them accordingly. Because they historically and biblically, the woman is equivalent to the man.
Exactly.
Only that the man is the head of the family. This is a role assignment, not a superiority contest. So we have to celebrate the woman just as we celebrate the man.
Okay, sir. What message or theme do you hope the festival communicates to both local and visitors?
Come and experience it, and you will appreciate what to take away from the festival.
Okay, so how can the community members actively communicate to the success of the festival?
Your question is not clear.
I said, how can the community members actively contribute to the success of the festival?
the fact that they are part of the festival, it means they have something to contribute. Everybody is from all the districts, the village areas, will congregate in the venue, and we will be given opportunities to express ourselves based on the districts and so on and so forth. It is for us to continue to appreciate one another and talk about unity and bring people together for peaceful coexistence and so on and so forth. So it's a known thing all over Birom land that the festival is holding, and you will find that the festival holds approximately at certain times of the year, just before the rains, because part of the festival is to pray to God Almighty for the rains that will usher in a bumper harvest that is also good. So the entirety of the Birom, the life of the Birom in the context of the cultures and traditions and livelihood is tied to this.
Thank you very much, Majesty.
Oh, nice.
It's been a pleasant moment. Thank you very much, sir.